Satya Marar is a opinion contributor to The Hill and is a policy analyst at the Reason Foundation. He joins us right now from the United States. Thank you very much for talking. Happy Election Day. What do you think is going to happen today?
Look, I think whatever happens is going to be absolute confusion. I know that people here on the ground are getting exhausted, weary and tired of what has been a very negative, very vicious news cycle around this. I can tell you that the pharmacies down the road are getting all boarded up in anticipation of civil unrest, because it is a genuinely likely possibility that we will not, we probably will not know who the winner is tonight. And we might even see a situation where both candidates get an equal number of electoral college votes, and the delay and confusion could run into, well, over a week, and no one's looking forward to that.
So, Satya, obviously they're boarding up because all of those right-wing protesters are about to turn up. Is that it? I think we all know who's going to go nuts here, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, I was at one of these, I went to watch one of these protests a few months ago, and, what started off fairly peacefully turned pretty insane. By the end of the night, there were people breaking into businesses, looting, and, what was interesting was I did see a number of people there standing completely powerless, African Americans saying, why are we doing, what's this? Why, we shouldn't be doing this. This makes us look terrible. And the evidence is that every time there's one of these insane riots, support for Donald Trump goes up, and his message of being, pretty hardline on law and order seems to resonate right when this sort of stuff happens. So it's very counterproductive. I'm not sure what the end game of these people are, really.
That emotion that you're feeling about exhaustion, the constant conversation, the constant advocacy, the constant cancelling, all of that stuff. Do you think there'll be certain people, and I'm trying to sort of think about older voters, right, where you could make sense where older voters say, well, hang on, coronavirus is really important to me. We just had an election in one of our Australian states that was, basically counterintuitive, but all in on coronavirus fear. So you'd think, OK, older voters, they're going to step back and say, all right, I want a better version of the pandemic. But then surely they also understand how radical a change potentially could be coming if they walk away from the current administration, which is why I find it very confusing to work out where older voters are going to end up. Now, literally, what do they pick? Their immediate concern of the pandemic, of which a vaccine will deal with in the next couple of months, or changing the court system, the parliament, and however many other things that they've built up over their life.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's pretty hard to tell at this point what way they'll go. I think they'll be split demographic. A number of them are very concerned about COVID. And it's not just old people who are not happy with the way President Trump has handled this COVID response. With that being said, the question is to what degree do they blame him, given a lot of this responsibility is with state governments. And some of the worst outbreaks have, it turns out, been in states that are, Democrat governments. And at the end of the day, like you said, they must weigh up the issues around COVID and who can manage it better, alongside concerns about, what could a Green New Deal do that could cost billions of dollars in terms of jobs? What could significantly higher, more regulations and things like that do? These concerns do weigh heavily on them. So, we'll have to see how that turns out. I think it'll vary by the states as well.
So, even if it's not tomorrow, might be a little while, don't worry, it's just you and me watching. The internet will have no way of keeping this on record, and you'll turn up on The Daily Show. But what do you think happens in the end?
Look, honestly, I think it is entirely possible that we might see a winner declared prematurely, and then there might be a refusal to hand over power until there's an investigation of whether the votes have been tallied up correctly. And it might be that there is a good reason for an investigation. We know that, for example, that they've unearthed a scheme to register dead voters, in Florida, which they stopped. But if that does end up happening, I think the impact in terms of chaos and, unrest will be incredibly painful. I think it'll be one of those situations where the sooner it's resolved, absolutely the better. I think most people here just want to go back to a sense of normalcy. We haven't had that this entire year. And this election just really tops it all off. I can tell you that whether you're Republican, whether you're Democrat, or the 40% of Americans who are completely undecided, everyone is sick of this whole thing. We want to see a clear answer as soon as we can get it.
All right, good luck, may it be for Trump. Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate the conversation.
Thanks.